Hey, what's up, lightboltjoe here. Today we are going to discuss the 2020 book by Alice Oseman, Loveless. This is the fourth novel of hers, the sixth novel if you include the two Heartstopper novellas, This Winter and Naked Charlie. I've read them all, right? I've read all 4 volumes of Heartstopper. I've now completed all 6 books from Alice Oseman. I have the coloring book that we have to discuss, which I've never talked about a coloring book before, but we're going to talk about a coloring book. So, Loveless. I seem to be speechless after each Alice Oseman book. I said this a few reviews ago in regards to talking about her books. She is definitely my soulmate when it comes to writing. It is amazing how she can articulate words to express feelings. And it's so hard, it's so weird to say that because you'd think, well, you're reading a book. So obviously the picture has to be in your mind. You have to get enough picture in order to have the scenes play out in your head. Yes, but there's a way to do it in a sense of doing it to just show the picture and then doing it to show the picture but have you feel the emotion at the same time. A lot of authors can only do the see the picture bit. A lot of authors can't do the see the picture and feel at the same time. Certain authors that I've talked about can do both of that. Justin Sumper is one of those. He is an amazing writer. He did the 6 vampire books. Well, 6.5 if you want to include the little short story for one of the book days. Rick Riordan can do that. J.C. Cervantes can do that. A bunch of other authors can do that, but it's rare. So for Alice to be able to put the picture and the feelings in the mind and the soul at the same time, so amazing. So Heartstopper, Loveless came out in 2020, right? So this book is about Georgia War, W-A-R-R, War. And Georgia is, we start out, the night of prom, the night after prom, the after prom party in the UK, in England. And so she is trying to assess her feelings for this guy, Tommy, that she's had a crush on for, 7 years. But she's always realized she's liked the thought of liking Tommy, but not actual Tommy. So she gets the opportunity to kiss Tommy by a fire, and she pulls back and he, inadvertently falls into the fire and winds up burning his arm, which is, he's wearing a jacket of hers. So it's very interesting opening. Then we flash forward to the start of the first term at Durham University. Durham University in England has a bunch of different colleges within the university. From what it was explained, I didn't go to school in England, so I can't really confirm any of this. But that's how this particular school setup works. You have your university, but then you have different colleges within the university. So Georgia's a part of one. Her friends Pip and Jason are a part of another. And so the 3 of them have been best friends for years, over 7 years, and they all know everything about each other, mostly. But Georgia's still trying to process feelings, process self-discovery, process romance, right? She thinks she likes Jason. She thinks she can like Jason, and then she winds up dating Jason as a experiment, inadvertently, but then realizes her wrongdoing come the middle of it doesn't end well for them. So it's an apology tour, right? So her roommate Rooney is slowly becoming her best friend. They're slowly learning more and more and more about each other. Georgia's best friend Pip, which is a nickname for Philippa. She has been an out and proud lesbian for many years at this point. Jason has always been a heterosexual, cisgendered heterosexual, but he has, been an ally to his friends, and he's very supportive and wants everyone to be happy. He's obsessed with Scooby-Doo, which is going to lead into our Scooby-Doo marathon because of Jason. I've wanted to do a Scooby-Doo marathon for a while, but I now have a reason. We're going to transition right from Loveless by Alice Oseman right into Scooby-Doo. I'm so excited. So he's obsessed with the 2002 live-action movie, and he loves and obsesses over the relationship that Freddie Prinze Jr. and Sarah Michelle Gellar have on screen and off screen. It's so cool seeing that. And he has a framed picture of them on his wall. It's just hysterical and it's adorable. As the story goes on, Georgia is still questioning her life, her sexuality, her sexual orientation, likes, dislikes, right? So she joins a pride society, inadvertently joins a pride society at school, becomes friends with the president, whose name is Sunil. He identifies as a romantic asexual, and romantic asexual? Aromantic asexual? asexual. I don't remember the romance part, but they have a conversation because she's curious as to what this means because she's seen it before. She's read it in fan fictions before. Fan fictions mentioned, by the way, Korra and Asami. I almost freaked out, and from Legend of Korra, obviously, and then the Jimmy and Rowan fan fiction, which is referencing that the Ark is a band within the Osman universe. The Ark, Jimmy, and Rowan were heavily represented, obviously, as main characters within the I Was Born for This book. So cool, having all of it tied together, right? So, aromantic is explained and asexuality is explained in a very broad umbrella of it, because it means different things to different people, but there's different branches of it. But in a gist, aromantic means you're not romantically attracted to anyone, male or female, doesn't matter the gender, and asexual means you're not sexually attracted to anyone, doesn't matter the gender, male or female, other, doesn't matter. You just don't have those feelings. You don't have those sexual feelings in asexuality. You don't have those romantic feelings in aromantic. So sometimes it's just shortened as aro-ace. Some asexual people will engage in sexual intercourse, but it depends if they're more on that demisexual side, that sapiosexual side. There's the umbrella's just spanned, and that's the beauty of it, because nothing's just black and white anymore. It's all nothing's black and white. It's never been black and white. It's been assumed to be black and white, but it's always been gray. Sexuality and gender is a spectrum. So it's neat to be able to finally discuss these things openly and have actual conversations with characters in these books, and then have actual conversations with people in real life who have read these books. It's a beautiful conversation starter. So Georgia discovering this, talking to her cousin during Christmas break at one point, discovering that she herself is aro-ace, that Georgia is being comfortable now saying that she's aro-ace, for Rooney, her roommate, to figure out that she's pansexual. It's just neat seeing these different things conversed, that it's not a matter of, Charlie says it great in the show, actually, in the Heartstopper show. Because when Nick asks, when did you realize you were gay? And Charlie goes, oh, well, it's not like one day I woke up and I said, no, I guess I'm gay now. It doesn't work that way. It's figuring it out. It's realizing likes and dislikes over time. But in the process of this, Georgia didn't like that she couldn't love in a romantic sense, but she realized that platonic love is a thing, that you can still love your family, you still love your brothers and sisters, you still love your, you could still love your parents, but there's no, there's an equal amount of love to give to a friend. You can have a platonic romance, hence the word bromance all the time. My whole life, I've always been more on a bromance. Bromance was always more important to me than a romance, to be completely honest. It's always been that way. So you can platonically love someone and still show different love feelings, different love, gestures, all those different things, right? You could be cute and do a big grand gesture to announce your love for your friend. It's romance. It's a friend romance. You can have a friendship romance without having a romantic romance. You don't have to have a romantic romance. You can have a friendship romance. And that's what's really neat about it. It's a spectrum, and it gives us words. And that's what this book does. It puts words to feelings that you can't really express sometimes. And it's great seeing that. It's great seeing that on actual pages with actual words, that you can express it, that it's, for so many years, like I said, I was always more on a bromance side than a romance side. And it was hard to explain why I would hang out with these, particular guys all the time, when I had no, romantic or, sexual attraction to them. It was because they were friends. You're allowed to love your friends. You don't have to have some kind of romance or desire to sleep with them. You can just love your friend. There's nothing wrong with that. So it's neat seeing that I was never actually weird in all of this. It's neat seeing that I can now actually express words because it's been explained. I didn't know that it was things. So it's neat seeing that love aspect in regards to friends. And then the last book review, we talked about my identifiers are on the homoromantic demisexual side, which is an umbrella of asexuality. It's easy just to say the word gay, since the homoromantic aspect, I prefer to be in a romantic relationship with a male, but like I said, sometimes I prefer the bromance over the romance. It's just how it is. It doesn't really matter. It's just, it is what it is. It's how it is. It's how I am. It's how it works. It's not a matter of being weird. It's just a matter of being on the alphabet, being on the beautiful alphabet. We've discussed numerous times, which is always great. A thing that I've noticed, though, within Alice's books, and now we're wrapping up the book conversation, right? Her theme is all about find, to find, finding, how to find, the quest of finding, right? Solitaire was about Tori's quest to find out who Solitaire was. In, what was after that? Radio Silence, oh my God, the best out of all of them. That was about the quest to find Radio. Radio says, hello, I hope somebody out there is listening. It was a matter of everyone figuring out, can they find Radio? Can they find themselves while finding Radio, right? Aled being Radio, finding him in university, everybody getting in that car and going to university to find him. Oh my God, I still get chills. It was incredible. I Was Born for This is the quest to find what true fandom means, to find oneself within the fandom, to find oneself's happiness, specifically Jimmy's happiness. And then it was a matter of finding Lister as he gets lost in the woods and then almost dies in the freezing cold with a broken leg and a stab wound from Jimmy's knife. An incredible turn of events. And then in Loveless, we now have the quest for Georgia to find herself, to find what orientation, what sexuality, what words best describe her feelings. And she doesn't feel the normal quote-unquote feelings as everybody else does. Why does everybody obsess about kissing? Why does everybody obsess about having sex? Because she doesn't. And she wanted to know why. She wanted to find why. And she found it. So the theme of Alice's books, to find, is amazing. And it's just really cool. I don't know if it was intentional by her, but it's neat seeing that collective theme through all of her books. In regards to Nick and Charlie, right? In regards to the Heartstopper books, in regards to the Heartstopper novellas, this winter and Nick and Charlie, it's the quest to find happiness. It's the quest to find home. You know, it's Alice has said numerous times, Kit has said numerous times, Kit Connor, who plays Nick Nelson, Joe Locke, who plays Charlie Spring, they've all said numerous times how Nick and Charlie are home. Nick and Charlie are each other's home. And it's a quest to find home. It's a quest to find that safety, that comfort, that love, that acceptance, that desire for home. And all of Alice's themes are about find, to find or finding. Love it. Absolutely love it. I am so glad I did a full dissertation on all 10 of her books, technically. Haven't read her short webtoon comics in regards to like the 10 years later for Nick and Charlie. I'm hoping that they like correspond into a nice, beautiful collection. I know volume 5 is coming out at some point. I'm assuming a 5.5 is coming out with those webtoon comics. I will wait to read them in paper form. I enjoy reading in paper form because I stare at a screen all day in regards to work, so I enjoy the break, that there's no blue light going back into my face as I stare at an actual dead tree on paper. But yeah, Loveless by Alice Oseman, 2020 original book. On to the Heartstopper coloring book. We're going to talk about a coloring book. I can't wait. Mucho mahalo.